Did you know that a bag of pepper in Ghana costs about 1,200 cedis, which is about roughly $100? And did you also know that you can make 30 bags from 1 acre? There is somebody in Ghana who is making serious money in pepper farming, and today I'm going to sit and talk with Felix from Trisolace Farms and learn more about pepper farming. Most of us, every house, let me say this, every house in Ghana or in Africa has pepper in it. That means that it's a commodity we shouldn't take for granted, and there is a lot of money to make there. If you're interested in crop farming, vegetable farming, then join me as I talk to Felix and learn more about how much he's making and how he's doing his pepper farm that is making him so much money. Felix, nice to meet you.
Same here.
Great. So today we are happy to be here. This reminds me of my yard in Brekum, my mother's farm, where I see contemporary, I see plantain. What are we looking at?
Okay, so let's say some of us are cursed and blessed at the same time. You know, every given time our heads are spinning with ideas and innovation.
Yeah.
So 2021, we saw that we had enough money in our coffers that if we keep it, we might pay more taxes.
Yeah.
Or
Uncle Sam will be knocking at your door.
So we said, is it good to hold liquid cash as a company and pay more taxes than usual, or test something else? So we had a market for pepper. And we said, okay, instead of doing just that, why don't we diversify? Because the market was sitting, we had not tested the pepper before, I had not done pepper before. So we went into pepper production.
Wow.
Straight away. So we did a lot of these tanks that you see, they are for irrigation. So we did irrigation. Even in the dry season, we're growing. We were able to make so much money now. I think my true love might change.
Really?
I'm now falling in love with pepper.
Really?
You know, but that's just by the way. Anyway. Because we still feel that even that was employing still more people than the snails. And to me, employment is key. You know, my metric is employment. I only look at how many people I can employ at every given time. So 2021 we did this, and in 2020, ending of 2021, we're still doing, and then we had to move. We had tested the concept, and now we knew that it was working. We even have a lot of dry pepper. Even the leftovers can clear debt from other people's farms.
Wow. What is unique about what you did versus other people that have been doing peasant pepper farming?
So the thing is, with pepper, it's in numbers. So if you have the numbers, so we have a drone here that can spray 20 acres in less than 8 hours. And these, sorry to say, peasant farmers would use about 14 people a whole month to spray the same, and they wouldn't even do an effective one.
Of course.
So the thing is, it's in rows, so you are paying them per plant. Whilst you are watching, they will spray it nicely. Immediately you turn, they jump. So that you can count and give them, and you wouldn't know if it has been sprayed or not. But the drone is not human. It goes back to where exactly it started after the payload has finished, and then takes the water, mix it, and then goes back to exactly the plant and then
it's programmed to do exactly that.
So that's what we love. So what made us different was that, one, we tested our soil. Two, we were also able to do technology farms. Like we used EOS, that is a satellite imaging, to do. You
use EOS monetization.
Yes. So we use that, and it's free.
It's
not like, you know, people hear these things and say, oh, forgetting he has so much money. No.
You know, I've done a video about EOS. I did a video once about the 3 things that are very effective for me and my farm when I was in the US. And EOS was number 1.
So because it tells you heat signatures, it lets you know that these plants are getting more water, more moisture, not, you know. And it even shows you the coloring of the plant, what it means. And I don't know why people are not using it. But anyway, that's another story for another day. So we did that, and then it was fairly good. I actually learned a lot from it. We made a loss the first time, and then we had to drill boreholes because we had a water body. We thought it would be there all year round,
but then it dried up.
But the thing is, the EOS was able to tell us that it would dry. Then someone said, "Oh, forget the EOS. It doesn't know. We are
this
here.
is in Ghana, Africa, Africa for you."
It is always, the water is always flowing. We say, okay, we trusted the humans for the first time, and they failed us.
Yeah.
The water actually dried up half the year.
Yeah.
So we had to drill 3 boreholes, which were 180 meters down.
Yeah.
Each costed not less than 16,000
to
build, and then there was no water.
Yeah.
So if we had listened to the EOS, we would have saved us close to 40,000 USD because we had not laid the pipes and all that, and would have just gone with the small that we had spent. So after that, we said, okay, we have tested. Some of the findings we found out was that, one, pepper was good. It was so good. It's like it should be what people will call money ritual. It should be the juju of Africa.
Yeah, like the money cow.
It's a lot of money in there, and you don't even get people to harvest. We left a lot of acres in the farm and just ran away because you pick this and this is ripe. You go and pick it, another is ripe. Like that. Yeah, lined up like soldiers.
Wow.
And everyone is productive.
How many acres did you plant for that?
Sorry to say, foolishly, we did 30 acres.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Because we were starting and we was like, let's do a lot.
Yeah, it's pepper.
Youthful, exuberance and all that. I just went in there, we did. When you check on Google, you will see Trisolace Community Farms. Yeah. It's at Abuechi, Abetifi. And we had free lands. So the chief there said, hey, you can do all you want, but there's one catch. The people will steal everything. And we said, okay. So how do we solve that? When you go online and you search the graduate farmer that uses snakes to guard his farm, we did that first in Ghana. We were doing that. So I had some pythons that we just used them on the farm to protect the farm. And it stopped all theft cases.
Really?
100%. People would see our stuff outside, pick it, bring it, hold it like that, and throw it inside our yard. And they go because of the snakes. So we actually made it, we wanted to turn it into a zoo. Yeah. And kids were coming to see the snakes. We would talk about how some snakes are not venomous, some do not bite, etc. You know, so that was done. And I really loved the pepper part because it was a new terrain and it really helped with other processes that we wanted to learn from, like diversification and, you know, changing money here and there so that, you know, you don't pay taxes, a lot of it. Not that it's bad, but you know, if you have the money to use to employ more people, it's better than just keeping it in the bank and paying more.
It doesn't make business sense.
Exactly. So we brought this here because, like I said, we learned 3 things. One, we learned that pepper was super good. And then we needed to do more. But we also learned that proximity is key. How close you are to the market is everything. It's everything, everything. So our market was export here in Accra. Airport, Kotoka to be precise. And then early morning they tell you that the plane will be in 2 hours. You have to get them here and then wash them and do all that before we take them. And we have to drive 3 hours from there. Sometimes very early. Like 12 a.m. You know, 1 a.m. and all that, and we are now doing that. So these are even the leftovers of the pepper.
Wow.
These are even leftovers.
These are leftovers of what?
Just the leftovers.
Of what you harvested.
Yes. Leftovers of the pepper. That's we did. So the export will sort of sort it and take out the good ones, the green. They love it green. And then the rest we will leave it, and then you don't have anywhere to send those ripe ones, so we had to dry and then sell it locally. And one Mokola bag, 5 bag like this, that's Mokola 5. It's going for 1,200 cedis.
This bag?
Yes. And that's even the leftovers.
For the leftovers.
Yes. So imagine if your pepper is doing great and you have about 100 or 200 bags of these.
So on the 30 acres, how many 5 bags did you get?
So on every acre, we got up to about 30.
From every acre?
Every acre, yes.
Wow. So wow. And you
so
had
about 300 bags.
For the 30 acres.
For the 30 acres.
And you export. So you were charging in dollars.
Yes, in dollars as well. We're charging the green to outside.
Yeah.
Where we had some network of Chinese people and Indian people that buy from us.
Yeah.
And then the rest we had to dry.
Okay.
So we've been selling it since. So when I need some small money,
then you drop one.
Some of them.
You're making money here.
Small.
He says small.
I tell people small. Never assume, always be sure. That's my motto. Never assume, always be sure.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. So
these are the tanks.
Yeah.
So these are about 40,000 liters.
Okay.
This is a 10,000 liter.
This is a 10,000.
Yeah. You don't usually get them. You have to order for it.
Yeah.
And our irrigation system we ordered.
Okay.
The bad thing is that in Ghana you have to import everything.
Yeah.
So there was a company here doing piping. They would do for the telcos, but the thickness is too hard for us to puncture it.
Yeah.
So you have to go to the company, sit down with the management and say, I want this diameter.
Yeah.
You know, this bar, this etc.
Yeah.
And then they have to do that customized.
Yeah.
So imagine all the farmers that, sorry to say, who might not have the money to do
that.
Customized pipes.
Yeah.
So that they could go all year round. It's not there.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that is one of the drawbacks of farming.
Yeah.
You know, so these were 40,000 liters that we used on the farm.
Okay. For the pepper irrigation. So on a nutshell, I know there are. We'll come back to snails, but I know that I feel like I want us to finish pepper, and then we go to snails, because the same way your path is directed. Let's people that are watching us that are being like, oh, that calculation, 300 times whatever demand and so on. What encouragement, what advice, what would you tell people that are thinking about going into pepper farming?
Okay, so the first is get a market.
Okay.
I always tell people I would never go into the field without a market. Okay. Even for the snails, we have a market. Yeah. For the pepper, we have a market as well. So someone just said, oh, I see you doing a lot of this. Do you also grow pepper? I said, do you have a contract? He says, yes, we can sign a contract, and if you are ready. So yada, we just went there and signed. And I was even holding it, just to see. So when that money, it was getting to the end of the year, and had a lot in the bank, and we said, So the accountant called and said, hey man, we have to diversify. Yes, as a good accountant, they'll give you good advice.
Of course.
We went in there and then we started that because we had the market. Yeah. So we were just testing. Yeah. So we did everything to specification and we got that amount. So what I would ask everybody to do is, one, get the market. Get the market, And aside the market, get insurance. Insurance. All our farms were insured. Yeah. So everything we lost, we got back. Yeah. Get insurance. There are insurance like the Ghana Agri Insurance Pool, which is backed by the German embassy. Yeah. That is helping farmers do, poultry farmers, other farmers do insurance. Yeah. So that if these diseases hit you, you're covered. You are covered. The government will give you some compensation and you take your insurance back and you can choose to start all over again. Yeah. And the good thing is that insurance pays premium. Yeah. Pays higher than the usual amount. So you get some surplus. It's like just like selling your chicken. But this time, let's say they all died and you just left them. So let me take you a step back. So number one, you said get a market. Yeah. I'm a university graduate. I'm sitting down. I want to go into any farm. Yeah. You said we should get a market. Does that mean I go on the street of Makola and start asking what is in your mind? Get the market. Okay. So there are two forms of markets you could get. You could get the informal one, which the women will say, from December to February, there's no pepper on the market. Yeah. If you can do that, I promise you we will buy. Yeah. Still, you take insurance to back that. Yeah. But when they tell you that it's surefire way that they don't have pepper, they will buy. Yeah. And then the other is you go to companies like Ghana Export Promotion Authority. Yeah. They have a whole hub filled with computers, AC and everything that any Ghanaian, not even Ghanaian, let's say anybody can walk in there and go and sit there the whole day, do their research for free. For free. And they are the after office at the Accra Central. Ministries. Yeah, ministries. They are there, free. Yeah. You just walk in, they ask you where are you going. I'm going to Gepa. Yeah. So you go up there, the place looks more like some foreign, sci-fi movie where it has nice computers and swivel chairs.
Yeah.
But people are not using it.
People don't know.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
And the last time the librarian was even begging me to do a video on that so that people can come and you know. So I'm sure you can also do a video on that and let people know the opportunities there.
Yeah.
So you go there and they have export, a lot of export information.
Yeah.
You know, and they also help you with documentation as well. There's a GRA there. Okay. There's a FDA.
Yeah. For approval and all that.
They've put in all of them on one table.
Yeah.
And they will help you throughout the process. So instead of going to queue at other FDA branches and GSA,
you work from the within.
Go there. You have everything there. So that is how we got our markets. A lot of them. And then you can also get to industry players like myself and like Dr. Kamasa. He's super duper in agric and veggies. He grows everything for export. So if you go to him, he can also sign a contract and say that, hey, grow 10 tons of this for me and I'll buy. So once you have that, you can even use that to raise funds. That's how we
have
did.
A contract.
Exactly. So you have an offtake. Offtake is more like a collateral for your money, so you can seek funding elsewhere to do that.
Okay, so that's what you mean. So that's for the export. That's great, but some people will be like, me, I don't have money. Let me start small. You know, talk to us about the local market as well in terms of how to penetrate. How can we plan better to meet the local market? Okay,
so local is good. Because one, it cuts down on transportation costs, it cuts down on a whole lot of other costs. But the downside is that you have to time it. Timing market is like a draft game. You have to know how to play it very well, or you might lose. So the women will advise you, if you bring it at this time, there will be so much on the market is saturated. You might buy it at 50 pesos per the whole bag. And then you wouldn't listen. You still go and do the same thing because you are not doing something like irrigation. Because all the farmers are looking to the sky for water, and you grow with them at the same time, and they didn't put anything into it, so they can just sell it. Like that. So you go to the market women for local one. Ask them, what times do you have a shortage? They will tell you that from September to February. September, October, November, December, January, February is dry in Ghana. You won't have pepper anywhere. So if you have irrigation or a water body, you can do pepper and send it, and you get premium, just like export. Because they now buy about 2 times the price or 3 times because there's none anywhere. You know, and you can also dry it to be safe. Dry it,
store it,
leave it.
That's what my mom used to do when I was a kid. You know, she always dry the pepper and save it for this period.
It lasts so long, and this period. Oh, I didn't even sell it earlier. When we were selling it somewhere December, it was 1,500. That's 1,500 cedis. And then it came to 1,400 per pack. And then it was coming. Now it's about 1,000. So I want to store it and wait for the next dry season, and it doesn't go bad.
Amazing, especially when you've covered it like what you've done.
And you dry it nicely, you are good.
Okay, awesome. So that's what he means by the market. Sorry, I want to be able to break it down because we have a whole variety of people watching, and you want to make sure that everybody gets something at their level to work with, right? Because we all need to step from somewhere and grow to that point, right? So number 1 is market. Number 2,
insurance.
Insurance. We talked about insurance.
Even if it's a small farm, insure it because you are still putting in not less than, let's say, 20,000. And imagine starting to get 20,000 afresh in Ghana in this weather. It's crazy. So you have to get the insurance to back it. No matter how small, it goes a long way. So insurance, and then get the expertise, technical know-how. Very, very, very important. I know people who just see land and say, oh, it's like their swoon, it's big, we can use it, and they start and start putting. Some lands are not good for pepper, some lands are not good for other things like maize, etc. You know, tomatoes, so you have to know. Sometimes the soil has so much nematodes that your tomatoes will all die at once, etc. You know, so we did pepper because it's a bit resilient to pests, and choose your plants carefully. So when it comes to the research part of it, the knowledge, go to people, let them show you quality seeds. Quality seeds in the sense that they are seeds that are resistant to drought. Even if there's so much drought, they will withstand it. Some that are resistant to pests and diseases. Some that are giving more yield, up to about 30% more yield than the usual. I know people might say it's GMO, but no. Most of the modified seeds are available. Even watermelon in the olden days, when you cut it, it wasn't that fleshy. It had a lot of stems and stumps in there. But now it's so fleshy because they've modified it. Everything we are eating has been modified. You know. So I tell people, do that. Research very well. If not anything, use more of your time to do research than planting. So once you have that, I have a market, I have insurance, I have the expertise, and this is the person helping me through. Now you can start.
Awesome. Guys, so this is for pepper farming. I know that a lot of people, even our so-called educated honorables, will tell you that farming is for the poor. They've gone to it, they failed, and it's because they didn't have these things. And that's why I specifically asked this question, because once you have all these things, the expertise, as you mentioned, is key. And I always talk about that in our videos. There you go, guys. You guys have it.